Hey guys, so I decided to order myself a Christmas present from Tom. Well, a lot of Christmas presents. But I mainly wanted to get some new studio monitors. And I've been looking for the last year or so at replacing my M-Audio BX5-As, which I've started to find a bit fatiguing in the high end with not enough low end, especially when doing dance music and stuff where I need to hear the kind of 60 to 120 hertz more clearly. I've been looking at the JBL 305s for a while and the 308s. For their price, they got rave reviews and were supposedly a lot better than anything in that price range. And I can't really afford to spend, $800 per speaker, which seems to be the next jump up. There's nothing really between this level and a much more professional level. So I thought I'd give these a go. So today I'm just going to be unboxing them. Just got them from Tom. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for them, but they were a pretty good deal. They were on sale. And I was going to get the 308s, but a lot of the reviews were saying that they don't have a lot of clarity in the low end, just lots of it. Lots of the 100 to 200 hertz, the kind of ugly low end, and not really much more extended than these. So I thought I'd save a bit of money, get these, and eventually save up and get a sub to do the very low end, especially seeing I'm in kind of a bedroom studio setup at the moment and without a lot of bass traps and such. So too much of that muddy low end could be a problem in my mixes. So let's go have a look what's in these packets. So you seem to have the actual product box inside an extra box, which is great. Let's see what's in here. First off, we have a setup guide, which is great. Got information on the inputs, the positioning of the speakers. Sure if it has anything about wall mounting. It does tell you how to unpack the speaker. So I reckon put this back on. Tip it upside down. Yeah. This box over here. So power cable. Here we are. I'll show it to this camera just so you can see a bit closer. JBL 305. Now these are fair. They're probably, I don't know, about a quarter bigger than the BX5-As, which probably does help with the low end because it'll just shift the cabinet resonance down a little bit with a bigger cab. So I'll get this in this. Let's see. Controls in here. A little bit. Remove that. You can see the controls on the back. We have balanced inputs, both TRS and XLR, which is great. Input sensitivity for the two different line level types. So you have +4 dB, normally known as professional line level, and -10 which is consumer line level. So it depends on what interface you have as to whether you want your input sensitivity on one or the other. My interface puts out +4 dBu, so I'll be using on that setting. We've got low frequency trim and high frequency trim. I'm not sure if you can still see that. And we have, so that's plus or minus 2 dB. I'm not sure what frequencies they are. That'll help tailor it to my room. And we have volume, on and off, and a universal power supply. So these are looking very stylish. Actually, a lot of people said how they're kind of cheap, but they seem a nice kind of box. I like the look. It's very plasticky, but kind of nice and shiny. So there seems to be a little few marks on here. I think that's just cleanable. Cool. Well, I'm going to take out the other one. So put this one down. Yep. Up again. This is very well packed from Tom. Came with plenty of those kind of big bubbly things that Tom seem to have. I haven't seen them with other packing companies. Maybe that's more common overseas and not so common in Australia. Yeah, so the outer box seemed a little bit damaged, but these boxes were perfectly fine. And obviously having 2 boxes and then the foam as well, I suspect the speakers weren't susceptible to damage. Exactly the same thing again. Power supply. I won't be using these because these are European power supply, European IEC cables, and I've got plenty of IEC cables in my studio, so might save these for if I have to use them overseas. This one comes with a manual too. I think they just sell them, even though they're bundled together by Tom, they aren't specially paired speakers. They're just individual speakers that they ship to Tom and Tom just give you 2. Whereas some speakers have a left and right because of where their horns face and such. I think these are just generic, exactly the same. So what I might do is I might hook these up quickly and do a quick test. And you know what I think, and then I'll do a proper review in a couple of weeks, just to, you know, see how I feel after mixing to them. My whole room's gonna get rearranged in that time, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare with a bit of acoustic treatment and a little bit of positioning. Also, we'll do a comparison to my BX5-As. Should be able to switch between them and these in Cubase. I don't have reference microphones, but I might just set up some condensers and you can get a rough idea of the differences. So I just had a quick listen and I'm impressed. Definitely impressed. From what I can hear so far, I listened to a couple of tracks, bit of dance music, bit of classic rock, some stuff that's mastered really heavily and not so much. And two things stood out to me. Well, three things. First thing is they're much more balanced than my old monitors. BX5-A seem to have a peak around the the filter cutoff point for the crossover. And so they're really harsh in that area and very little low end. These are a lot smoother, more natural low end, not overhyped. Well, not that I could tell, like dance kicks weren't super loud. You could hear them though. And so more balanced. Still, there's a little bit of harshness in the top end, but it's probably good to, with cheaper monitors, it's better than not having it because it helps you see detail. Hear detail in the top end there, and if it's really harsh then you've got to control those frequencies rather than putting out a harsh mix because your speakers don't show harsh frequencies. The other thing is imaging. They're super wide sounding. I haven't been able to pinpoint panning like that since I was in my uni studio, which has about, I think they're $25,000 per speaker studio speakers, which are passive, huge boxes. I think they have 8-inch drivers in them. No, 8-inch mid drivers and 12-inch bass drivers, not sure. But they're not your small near-fields, they're definitely far fields. And yeah, so on small 5-inch speakers, I have not heard panning like this. Like, I could tell a huge difference in quality between a mix that's very mono and very compressed, and then a large mix, like listen to something like Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, I could hear all the different layers of guitars and where they were, which even on headphones I haven't been able to do with, lower end stuff. So that is awesome. And as I mentioned just a second ago, compression. I can hear compression way better than I have before with my BX5-As. An overly limited mix sounded terrible compared to something that has very light mastering compression and limiting, which is good because now I can hear those artifacts, and when I'm doing my own mastering, I'm not going to overdo it. When I'm doing my own mixing, I'm not going to overdo it on the 2-bus compressor. I was listening to Radiohead Idiotech, and it's an intentional effect, but I could really hear the low end of the kick compressing hard, which you can hear a bit, it's part of the sound, but this really highlighted that. And so if that's not what you want, then you can hear how to get rid of it. I mean, I'm going to do a proper, more in-depth review in a couple of weeks after I've had them for a while, after I've set them up, my setup, messed with the input sensitivity and the high frequency and low frequency cuts just to tailor them to my needs. But overall, I'm impressed for the price, definitely. Didn't think I'd get that clarity in this room without acoustic treatment. And they're loud, definitely loud. I wound all the way up and I don't think I pushed past minus 20 on my mixer, on Cubase's monitor mixer. I didn't push past minus 20 dB without it probably causing me ear pain. They're pretty loud for near fields. And pretty clear. They didn't seem distorted at all when I wound them up. And they also seemed to sound equally good quiet, where a lot of speakers, they need to be pushed a little bit, and I've heard that's the problem with the 8-inch models. The 308s is without pushing them, they don't have as much oomph because the drivers need to be pushed a little bit to get that. So I'm glad I went with the 305s, and it's only really the sub bass that's missing, which you rarely need, maybe just to check your mixes, but you can always check your mixes on a PA or in your car just to find out what's going on there. and your mastering engineer will probably be able to check that as well. So I'm still waiting on other stuff to come from Tom Arn, so there's going to be a few unboxing videos coming out, but seeing this arrived yesterday, I thought I'd get them up, have a listen, and let you guys know what I thought. So thanks again. Have a good Christmas.